Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Mon temps d'hier, t'as mon moyen, ça va faire moi, il Abela loke yo. Kagbo so ajulo. Hey. Awaye. Ati oro a. Yao. Abela loke yo.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again for tuning in. We say thank you very much. It's been a wonderful time. Thank God for Friday. Please stay with us tonight. We have some serious conversation. Mr. Soul is not here tonight. I'm sitting in for Mr. Soul. I'm sitting in for Mr. Soul. This is the liberal. Let me face my color fine, so you can see it, that the conservatives are losing ground to the liberals. The liberal is in control tonight. I'm running the show for Mr. Show. Mr. Show is not going to be here. The liberal is in charge. So let's get that clear. Thank you for joining us. I want to thank all of you again. Safety, Lord Jesus, we want to thank you. We want to thank you for your guardian. We want to thank you for everything that you do and continue to do for us. My God, if we sit here and start telling people what you did for or what you have done and continue to do, my God, we won't be able to leave you. All we can say to you is to say thank you. And what we will do is to come out here in public and proclaim that you indeed are the Father, the life, everlasting light. Thank you. Thank you. From where you got off from to this point, thank you. Thank you, my Lord. My Lord, we ask that you bless the Republic of Liberia. Bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. I understand the president and his people are traveling. Please bless this. Give them safe traveling mercy. My God, you have the power to do that. Bless our leader. Give him the wisdom. As he traveled to the United States, whatever he's coming here, my Lord, open the door. Let him be successful. Let those who want to help him be willing to help him. My Lord, you have the power to do so. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. My Lord, we ask that you bless the people of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Help those who are in need tonight. Come in and take complete control of those who are in need tonight. My Lord, we all are in need. Help us. Thank you for the opportunity. Help us. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the blanket of love. Thank you for your mercy of forgiveness. As we come here again tonight to open our mouths, we ask that you take complete control. Guide our thoughts as we come in to talk about Liberia. If we're talking about a specific group of people, specific person, God, we ask you to take the envious and jealousy of all in us that we have in us as human beings. Please take complete control of our thoughts tonight. We ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Good evening, folks. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Again, I'm sitting in for Mr. Soul. I don't have to say much. I'm sitting in for Mr. Soul. No, on a very serious note, I have a video here that I'm going to be playing here very shortly. But I want all of you to please share this video to as many people as possible. Please share. That's all you can do for all. We appreciate it. Not that you don't have anything to do but to join us tonight. You have a lot and lots of stuff to do. But the fact that you are here, we respect it and we appreciate it. Please share this video. And let me play this video, and I'll be back at the other end of this video.
We are assembled here this certain afternoon for a purpose that is not only noble and humane, but also one that we believe holds far-reaching positive implications for our country and our people. I intend, and I have, invited all of you here to join me in consummating the process that was set in motion deliberately actions and steps towards bringing justice and closure to the scars and memories of our tragic and violent misadventure into more than 14 years of senseless civil conflict. Through the several years following the silencing of the guns, we as a people have endured downpours of agony and an avalanche of recriminations and a clarion call from all victims or alleged perpetrators. The conviction that brings us here today is that for peace and harmony to have a chance to prevail, justice and healing must perfect the groundwork. I acknowledge the historic move by our national legislature, both the House of Representatives and the House of Senate, to reach separate and then a joint resolution urging the nation to take tangible steps towards paving the way to bring in a just, healed, and reconciled finally to the issues of that ugly period of the past. The direct representative of the people spoke through their collective and overwhelming vote as they passed the resolution, and so we must act and act now. On behalf of the people of this republic, I register sincere thanks to you, our legislators, and also the Justice and Peace Advocacy community, the interfaith community, as well as the various shares of victims who have for so long restrained themselves with the faith that at long last justice will one day arrive. The nation needs to be united in its resolve to ferret the causes and the effect of the violence that was visited upon our land, to justly apportion the blame and rewards wherever they may lie, and so to signify in the clearest possible terms our commitment to this justice and the rule of law, as well as to amplify our affirmation that impunity will not be allowed to stand under our watch. I find it only prudent and fair to embrace and further bolster the efforts that the national legislature has so courageously invested in this matter. It is in view of it that I today, Thursday, May 2nd, 2024, signing and issuing Executive Order Number 131, establishing the Office of a War and Economic Transport for Liberia. Let the word go forth that we will remain firm in our stand against injustice and impunity, and that we have no doubt that this move will go a long way in helping to restore respectability and integrity to this country and to be reconciled and united as a people. In this resolve, we want to do so as we think Liberia, as we love Liberia, and build a great Liberia. We urge all to lend their noble effort all the support it needs so that once and for all we can keep our eyes on the forward march and not remain stuck in the ugly memories of our unfortunate past. May God bless you and save our nation.
You heard the president, folks. President of the Republic of Liberia, President Joseph Boakai. For me, Dr. Joseph Boakai. It's a wonderful thing to have the president to tell us that indeed the war crime court is coming. It's coming. And so, my Tabataya, I hope the rest of the panelists will join me on this wonderful Friday. Again, the Liberal is sitting in for the most conservative guy on this show. And I want people to understand that the Liberal view has taken control of LPR. I want people to know that. I'm sitting in for Mr. Soul tonight, who is the most conservative on this show. He has his own show, all things considered, but the Liberal is here. The Liberal is in control. So let's have a show. On a very serious note, folks, thank you for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us. I think President Boakai, as we correctly analyzed yesterday, and I think, of course, the brilliant amount of Sisi Goya always has some good point, including Terry. I was a little bit not surprised because Terry is up there, very, very way up there. But his analysis was in lockstep with what is happening. You could think, if you were to close your eye, you would think that Terry was in Liberia. For him to be able to give us that kind of precise analysis of what is happening in the country from my perspective, I thought that was wonderful. And then I thought Bakon, of course, he and I, we had to dance for Baka. I don't care what people say. Well, it doesn't matter. But Sisi and Terry last night, they were just magnificent. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable, and I want to thank them for that. But let's go on. Today is Friday, and we're sitting in for Mr. Soul tonight. So we are here to have a conversation. Mr. Souls, I'm sitting in. I will continue to sing this song. I know why I'm singing this song. I know why. So, but anyhow, let's go on. So, President Boakai made this pronouncement yesterday. Okay, and it's not done in isolation. Let's put it this way. President Boakai was very much in place. But my take tonight is something that I observed yesterday, but I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. But I will try to approach that here tonight because all over social media, that discussion is out there. It's out there. And right here, Liberia inches closer to war crime court. Okay, President Boakai, President Joseph signed Executive Order 313 as Senate Pro Tem Nyomli. Listen to this. I'm reading name now. As Senate Pro Tem Nyomli Kaka Lauren, Speaker of the House of Representatives J. Flante Kofa, and other top government officials and civil service. Oh, excuse me, guys. Again, folks, we will be right back. Please stay with us.
níbi tó jọba ẹ̀ níbi tó yánba máa ti sì mọ̀ pé yóò máa jẹ́ jíjí wọ́n pe ìṣàmẹ́ fọ́ sí o sí ti kọ́lẹ̀. Àdìbàtẹ́ ṣogo nọ́ská yà sẹ́ndé tó yé bi lọ́ máa tún fẹ́ fún mi jù tó àní tí lè gbé.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Thank you. We have to take a few, but this is a business here as well. We got other things we take care of. So anyhow, let me read that again. It's very interesting. Very interesting. It says, Liberia inches closer to war crime court. I want you to take that into consideration. Good evening, Isaiah Rue. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you for joining us. So let me read that again. Liberia inches closer to war crime court. President Joseph Nyima Bakai signed Executive Order 131 as, listen to people now, I'm going to be reading names, important people. I'm going to be reading names. As Senate Pro Tem Nyambli Kanka Lawrence, Speaker of the House of Representatives J. Flanti Kofa, and other top government officials and civil actors look on. Name that was missing: Vice President Jeremiah Cohn. I read that yesterday, but I thought it would be nice for us to just let it sit. Jeremiah Cohn was not there. I don't know why, but I will speculate. Liberia inches closer to a long-awaiting reckoning for its brutal civil war with the signing of a landmark executive order on May 2nd, 2024. Signing a historic executive order, President Joseph Nyima Bakai established the Office of the War and Economic Court, a critical first step toward the potential creation of a special war crime court. This move followed decades of call for justice from victim groups, international observers, and Liberian civil society. The signing ceremony, a solemn event witnessed by government officials, diplomats, and representatives of the Justice Advocate community held immense weight. President Baka acknowledged the nation's deep wounds, the downpour of anger endured by Liberians. He emphasized the importance of justice and healing as cornerstone for lasting peace. Folks, very interesting. In a statement, President Baka described the signing of the executive order as a commissioners of a process that was set in motion, the deliberate action step towards bringing justice and closure to the scars of memories of our tragic and violent misadventure. Listen to this. He picked his word very carefully. President Baka picked his word very carefully. Misadventure. Adventure. The killing of 250,000 people. Misadventure. I want you to keep that word to yourself. Into more than 14 years of senseless, it's a misadventure, senseless civil conflict. That means there's no concrete reason. And the people wanted to misadventure. They wanted to get into some sort of adventure, whatever it is. Senseless. 14 years. Nothing good we accomplished. Nothing good come out of it. Nothing. We already have one man, one vote, because in 1985 election happened, and because people were not satisfied of the result, they decided to carry on according to President Wakana, misadventure activities, which culminated into the senseless 14-year civil war. 14-year civil war. Okay. Through the several years following the silences of the gun, we as a people, have endured downpour of anger and vengeance of recrimination and clearing call from either victim or alleged perpetrator. Okay? But here's what I want to discuss tonight. It's a serious business. But missing in action on this thing here is Vice President Jeremiah Cone. It's missing. Let me go into the political side of things here a little bit. Vice President Cone is a vice president, sitting vice president for President Baka. But let's remember where he's from. He's from Nima County. And his political godfather, the man who anointed him to be his party standard bearer, Prince Johnson, has become the king of the perpetrators, according to Liberians and many other articles. Every time war crime court is mentioned, Prince Johnson's name will be the first, the most important to talk about in connection to the war crime court. So the question now is, Jeremiah Cone not being there, as I just read to you, what does it signify? Does it mean anything at all? What does it mean? What does it mean? So let's speculate. Follow me in my own mind as I speculate here tonight. But I have to be very careful in my speculation process as well, because I do not want to come across as being wish hunting. I think if people have been paying attention to the liberal, I've been on the platform arguing. And my argument has always been, Prince Johnson never got her one day. He didn't get her one day to say, oh, today my stomach full, the sun shining, the wind blowing beautifully, Maria is good. I went to start rebel business. It didn't happen like that. Something happened that caused Prince Johnson to be involved and be a warlord into the political civil conflict in Liberia. So if anyone would say that Prince Johnson did this, yeah, but Prince Johnson must be given the opportunity to explain himself. And so this, for me, Prince Johnson, Senator Prince Johnson, as far as I'm concerned, continue to somehow make himself the cornerstone or the talking point of the war crime court advocates, those who advocates for the war crime court, Prince Johnson. But I'm telling you right now, if Prince Johnson is given the information, if given the opportunity, and he takes the opportunity effectively, you will find out why. You will find out why. Okay? But these are things that we're waiting to see. Let's get back to the fact that Jeremiah Cone was absent. Was he sick? I don't know. Did the car break down? Does he not have gas? Was he barred from going to the ceremony? I don't know. I don't know. But one thing I do know, and what I do speculate, what I've observed, and what my assumption on the speculation process here tonight is I believe that most likely he had a conversation with President Bakar. And this is what I want to say. This is what I want to say. And if Jeremiah Cone, Vice President Jeremiah Cone, think by staying away from this war crime court, because perhaps Nima and Grand Jide going to be fully represented and fully brought on board in terms of questioning and what have you, and so him staying away, perhaps trying to cover himself, it's not going to work. I believe, I don't know the reason, but like I said, I'm going to speculate. If Jeremiah Cone staying away is to say to his brothers and sisters from Nima County, I'm not part of this war crime court ceremony because I don't think that this should be coming to affect my people, then he's wrong. Because Nima and Nibadie have reason for the war. Nima and Nibadians have reason to fight the war. Whether you believe it or not, they have reason. They didn't just get on one money and start fighting. I Samson told in Kenton, Ohio, back in 1982, I met with D.K. Wansley. D.K. Wansley and myself slept in a same house for over 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Now, everything he told me, that's not what I'm going to take into hold that as reasoning. I was reading myself. But there was conversation. The late D.K. Wansley told me. And if you listen to his conversation with me, you will understand why Nibadian was involved. So if you think that, Nima County share blunt of the violence, no. Grand Jide was part of it. So those two counties will be the county that most likely, in terms of questioning war laws and what have you, will be represented fully. But here's my issue with Nima County and Jeremiah Cone is not there. I think the fact that Jeremiah Cone absent is being pronounced all over, I think it's wrong. It doesn't show leadership. And I think Jeremiah Cone will be hurt come 2022 because of his absence yesterday. the other political leaders will use it against him. Jamaica have to understand that Nima County is not Liberia. That there was other brothers and sisters from Lofa County, from Moserado, from Cape Mount, from Maryland, from Sino, that was hurt in this war. There were other brothers and sisters from these same counties that were part of the war that are also members of the warlord community in Liberia. So Vice President couldn't stay that way. If my speculation holds, folks, that indeed, I'm looking for my bottle of water, folks, that indeed he's staying that way because he's thinking to himself, speculation, by the way, staying by himself to say, I don't want to participate because I don't want Liberian to say that I sell out, that I sold them up to the public. That does not show leadership. You go and stay in there. Because Liberian will want to use, your presence, if you were to be there yesterday, they would have used that opportunity to say, we are not afraid. Liberians are not afraid of the war crime court. Bring it on. Bring it on. Liberian will say, bring the war crime court on. We can explain ourselves. But the fact, speculation again, the fact that the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia from Nima County, political godson of Prince Johnson, not being able to participate fully yesterday was wrong. If my speculations are correct now, immature, if my speculations are correct now, does not show leadership. And I truly believe that when the time comes, 2029, Vice President Coon, this particular incident yesterday will be played. The video are there, will be played. Where were you? Where were you? Even people from Nima County were asked, what make you think that Liberians did not suffer during this war from their own kinsmen? What make you think that the war only affected Nima from people from outside of Nima? People within Nima were killing Liberians. What make you think that by you staying away, you're protecting, or that perhaps you are now going to be sympathizing with your kinsmen? Wrong. 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 And I think Vice President Coon, I believe, if my speculation holds now, let's continue to hang all my tabata on the speculation, believe what I'm saying, that in fact, if it holds, then Vice President Coon did not show good leadership, nor that you were able to exhibit maturity. You go to these functions, you show your face to these functions, and let Liberians see you, not as selling out, but that yes, indeed, you are participating in what Liberians want. You and Vice President and President Waka ran on the issue, on this particular issue, and won. So why will you not be there? Why will you not be there? Is it because you are concerned that Prince Johnson, your godfather, political godfather, will be upset? But yet still you claim to be the man of your own. Vice President Coon, you claim to be a man of your own. You are not depending on Vice President, on Prince Johnson for political activities in Nima. And in fact, they just in the by-election, senatorial by-election, proved that. Because the Kennedy hands that you put up won over the Kennedy hands Prince Johnson put up. But yet still, you did not show. So even if President Baka agrees with you that yes, you don't have to be there, unless you're saying that you were sick. But for whatever reason, President Barker, of course, President Barker is going to agree with you. But that's not going to stop President Barker from doing what he did. He has now banked huge political capital on this thing that he did yesterday. The political capital that President Barker has banked in to the political bank, he will redeem later. And if he's not seeking second term, believe me, President Barker most likely will do what Ellen did and not support you in any kinds of way in terms of seeking, if President Barker is not seeking re-election, he's not going to hold your hand to say, this is the man I want. Speculation. Let me make that clear. And if I'm wrong, I will come back here to eat crow. Let me also make that clear. Because these are kinds of international gathering that show to the international community that yes, indeed, this young man will take Liberia to places. But your absence yesterday showed to the international community that you're not quite ready. Look who was showing themselves. Senator Lawrence, Speaker Kofa were there taking pictures. And those pictures goes a long way. All over the world, people are showing those pictures, having the president signing, having the president of the Republic of Liberia signing war crime court. And you were not there. Where do you stand? Do you still believe they were selling Liberians in Grand Bassa County, Liberian children in Grand Bassa County? Is that why you were not there? You were not there because you believe Liberian was throwing hundreds of Liberian kids were throwing in the well? Is that what you believe? Is that why you were not there? Vice President Kun, where do you stand? Where do you stand? It's going to come back. It's going to come back. And the political adversary of yours will definitely show themselves. And when things, yeah, Nimba is a vote-rich county, but it's not the only county that can give you victory, my brother. You can have Nimba County all by yourself. You need other county to be able to put you over the mark. And the fact that you were not there yesterday does not boast, from my perspective, speculation by the way, the fact that you are not there yesterday, and up to this point, we have not seen any reason why you were not there. It doesn't boast well. And so I don't know why the analysts are not with me tonight, but I can't talk. I got a lot of things to talk about. I can't talk. So let's just get it out there. Now everything that I'm saying is speculation, and if my speculation don't pan out, I will even come back to eat crow. That one not anything. That's not anything. So my brothers and sisters, this does not, as Terry was correctly stated, as he was saying yesterday, that all of these things benefit Jeremiah Cohn. And I wanted to sink in my mind exactly why. But he was right. However, with the world and Liberians are now waking up and recognizing, because when it happened yesterday, the euphoria was all over. People were so happy, jubilant. They didn't even notice the absence of the vice president of the Republic of Liberia until today. But some of us read this article yesterday. We saw it. It is unacceptable. But here's the interesting thing. When President Bakai decided to seek the presidency during Ellen last term, Madam Salih did not hold Vice President Bakai hands in the air. So if President Bakai does the same thing to Vice President Kun, it won't be a first time. It won't be a first time either. And so where do we stand now? Now, Nibadians, on the other hand, might be thinking, okay, maybe Vice President is not in favor of the war crime court. If that's the case, Vice President, state that publicly, so Liberian will know where you stand. But you can't do these fly-by-night disagreement. It's not going to hold. It's not going to hold. This war crime court is nothing going to stop it. Libanians, Grangidians, the most affected area of Liberia because of this war, those who are who has the most responsibility, and I will argue, I could be wrong, but I will argue Nima and Grangidia stand at the highest. They have to explain. And you will be surprised. You will be surprised that kind of explanation you're going to get. You will be surprised. The likes of Dr. Bullitt. I know Dr. Bullitt. When Dr. Bullitt joined the Ministry of Education back in I think it was 77, I was at the Ministry of Education. Because of Dr. Bullitt, I am able to do these kinds of engineering work. Because until Dr. Bullitt came to Liberia, I was in the street. I was working for my mom, Minister of Education. I go to a club every night. How old was that? Maybe about 14, 15 years old. But I go to a club. Who's going to stop me? I got time for no school business. And so when Dr. Bullitt came, when he was introduced to me by my mom, Dr. Bertha Baker Ezanko introduced Dr. Bullitt to me. As a crime man with PhD. Yeah, I didn't believe that. The only crime man with PhD that I was calling Dr. Trouble Bahai those days. Well, other crime men will get PhD in Liberia, a bigger man. But when Dr. Bullitt was introduced to me by Dr. Bertha Baker Ezanko, and Dr. Bullitt spoke crime to me, I went home that evening, told all my friends, no more beer business, school business, a serious thing. And I'm very grateful to Dr. Bullitt. Just that the first encounter changed my life because I thought, oh my goodness, if a crime man can be this educated for the likes of Norman Tubber or Dr. Duncan and the rest of Dr. Farah to make reference to him, Dr. Baker to make them school that good thing. I told a lot of friends, no more check-up business, no more Lulu. I'm going to go to school. And I took school serious after that. And here we are today. But that is not the point. I was in Monrovia when Dr. Bullitt, I remember after the rice riot, when Dr. Bullitt was publicly handcuffed, I took him to the post stacking in Monrovia. I was there. I also know about the news, how they used to flog them when they were at the post stacking. I was there. So when the war came, I wasn't in Liberia, but why would an educated man like Dr. Bullitt, why would a man who has everything to gain would want to go and fight as he's being accused? He will explain himself. You think Dr. Bullitt got zipper on his mouth? He will give you the explanation. The same thing with Liberians. I told you already, I had a conversation with D.K. Wansley. He and I he stayed in America for almost 1 month. 2 or 3 weeks of that, we were in Canton together under the same roof. Go to the mall for him to buy his clothes and things. While we were having conversation. I know about the incident in PPF or whatever they call it over there in Lamco. I know all of that. So Liberians have reason. You might not agree with the reason, but they have reason. So Jeremiah Kuhn should have been there to tell Liberians, I'm here. We can explain ourselves. Let them bring it on. Let them bring the war crime court on. If we're guilty, let the law take control. But you're going to run away, Jeremiah Kuhn? You're going to run away? Seriously? You're going to run away? Jeremiah Kuhn, you're going to run away by not showing? You think that's how the Liberian will feel, like you're protecting them? No, your presence yesterday would have been able to protect them, make many of them to be brave, to come out and explain themselves. They have explanation. They have explanation. That look at the other banana man asking the kind of question. We say Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. You come in with answer an elementary question here. Get off my show, man. I come waste my time. You fisi, you fisi. Come to I say Vice President. You telling me say Representative and Senator. I said Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. Man, please, sit down, man. Yeah, come listen to you tonight. You fisi, come on. You fisi. I ain't got time to come waste time with you. I say Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, not being there. Then you bring in Senator and Representative. This man, in 2029, most likely will want to be President of the Republic of Liberia. Then you giving me Senator and Representative. Man, go find people to sit down, man. You can't know nothing. People trying to educate you. You want to be here and can't give me some. You want taba. Okay, taba on all other side. But let me go on. So, Vice President Kong, Liberian, if I was from Nima County, I won't feel being protected. You not being there does not protect anybody from Nima County from the war cry. Your presence yesterday would have shown to many Liberians that yes, we have somebody around the round table. Yes, we have somebody that would make sure you. So for many Liberian, it's like you run away. Okay? I don't know what's going on with my video. When I put that phone in your mouth again. Okay. Okay. So let's go back again. Vice President Kong absent yesterday in no way represent interest of Liberian. It's a failure, colossal failure on his part yesterday to represent our brothers and sisters in Nima County. Big time failure. His absence yesterday will not allow Liberian to fully participate in the conversation. You think Nima County people scared? No. But your absence yesterday is not having people to have second thought about why Nima even allowed himself to participate or be part of the war. Nima might not even be able to talk about the Nima Ray. You, Jeremiah Kuhn, you told us during the election that they were selling Liberian children. And yesterday, time for you to stand up and prove yourself. You were not there. You told us, Vice President Kuhn, during the election, that they threw 300 or so Liberian children in the well. You were not there yesterday to stand and back your statement. You ran away. My perspective. You ran away. So how do you expect now Liberians to come out and defend themselves if they have to? If they have to. If they have to. If they have to. You have the right to do what you do. I have the right to think what I want to think. My man, why you want to control my thought? Come on. Why you want to control my thought? You just do what you do. Let me do what I do. But thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Let's go on. So the people will say, but Franato, 2029 is a long way. People will forget. But the like of Flanti Kufa, the like of Nyomli Kanka, Senator, Representative, Speaker Kufa, and Senator Pro Tem Lawrence will not forget. And by you not standing side by side yesterday on the momentum occasion, on this most important occasion in the presidencies of President Joseph Baka, you think he's not going to remember? The old man will not remember? Why would you not want to be there? You argue your point. And even if you are not successful in squashing the war crime court, you are part of the government. But by you not being there, you run away. I say so. Speculation. That's my belief. This is something that is unacceptable, my brothers and sisters. During the election, Vice President, then Senator Jeremiah Kuhn told us that they were selling Liberian children in Grand Bassa County, truckloads, he said. That they buried Liberian children in a well, 300 plus, he said. But when the time came for him to stand up behind his word to say, this is what I say, I believe that, we didn't even see him say. He was not there. When President Baka was making his statement that wherever senseless war, he said, President Baka made a statement, misadventure. You, Vice President Kuhn, you said they were selling Liberian children in Grand Bassa County. You said they put Liberian children in a war. You were not there to stand behind that. Thank you. Thank you. I don't have to always, and I appreciate your opinion. Moluba, I appreciate your opinion. But at the same time, I'm not here for Kumba here. I know you come in here, and we really, really do appreciate you coming here too. And those are your views. But I'm entitled to carry on a show. And if I carry on a show, I have a topic to discuss. You might not be in favor of it. That's okay. That's okay, my brother. This is what makes us unique. Like Bro Public Radio, that's what makes us unique. We will talk on subject matter that most people might not agree with from time to time, and we will talk on I'm speaking now. Why you don't agree with me? There are other people that agree with me. So what do you want me to say? You want me to say because you don't agree with me, I'm going to move on? That's not how you do business. As a man, this is the reason why your vice president was not able to stand behind the president yesterday, because he felt that people will say, "Oh, why are you standing there? You agree? You in favor of what?" So he rather not be there. That's not leadership. So let me conclude on this here. Let me conclude on this. 2029. This particular incident of Vice President Kuhn yesterday is going to come back. And here is another interesting thing, speculation, by the way. Here's another interesting thing. When President Baka and his people go back to Liberia, and there's a major issue that Vice President Kuhn will want to show up, people will start questioning his sincerity. Very serious. If you cannot stand behind the president on this, and then in terms of money coming in, then you stand behind it, people will start questioning the vice president's sincerity. This is not good. This is not good. Does not establish with the Liberian people his sincerity to be part of the governing body. Let me go on. Samson told Liberian Public Radio sitting in here for Mr. So tonight The liberal is here, and I'm taking everything the liberal position. I'm not here for kumbaya. I'm here to be truthful. That's it. That's all that I can do. And if you listen to President Bakai, his words, he carefully chose his words and what he wanted to use to describe this situation. Misadventure, senseless 14-year civil war, destructive civil war. Within the next 4 to 5 presidents will continue to go out to beg for money. The next 4 to 5 presidents of the Republic of Liberia will go out to continue to beg for money because of our destructive behavior. And I'm glad that President Bakai has decided to put all of us on trial. And I'm not excusing myself either. Though I did not take gun to fight, but I sent money home. As a group, I was part of the group sending money home to support and feed our people. As an individual, I was sending money to my relatives in the refugee camp. By me supporting the relatives in the refugee camp, I'm also part of the war crime code, if they want to call me. Because the fact that I was supporting people who are refugees in a different country, they can say your support for the refugee caused them not to come back home to stop the war quicker. And other people will argue those same refugees that were being supported were able to go back to Liberia and regroup to start another war. And so we're all of us, every Liberian that were of fighting age, we must account for those behaviors. Even whether you hold gun, but the fact that you're supporting certain group, you are happy for certain group, you're part of this thing. Because I remember my brother here now in over on the south of California. Every week we used to call him because he had paid someone to go out every day to count dead bodies from our community, from the Town or BI Chieftain area. And every week we will call him, who's dead, and he will give us the list of people that have died and those who need help. So all of us, one way or the other, participated in the war. So the war crime people will not be things that Prince Johnson, and not just Prince Johnson, and not just Prince Johnson. Liberia in the diaspora. You heard what the vice president, what the ambassador said the other time. He said most of the problem in Liberia usually come from America. So we're already being branded. So there's nothing here to hide. Nothing here to hide. And I say again, as I close on this one, Liberian can explain themselves. They are not afraid. Granadians can explain themselves. They are not afraid. This is for me as Liberian, this is an opportunity for those who fully participated in the war to explain to their fellow men why they participated and why they were not able to stop certain group or certain people from being killed. If you are a member of the, how do you call them, general war law community, put your papers, start putting things together because you will have to answer. And one of the good things happening in George Weah administration, most of the general brought themselves up, and they are well known in Liberia. During President George Weah administration, they were there flaunting their warlord ability. So they're there. So they will be called. If I were one of those, I would start putting all my documents together because you will have to answer questions. So once again, I want to say thanks to President Bakai for this wonderful, wonderful work, giving all of us the opportunity to explain ourselves. No one, in my opinion, no one is guilty until the law said that person is guilty. Every one of us, every one of the warlords, including Prince Johnson, they are innocent until proven guilty. If we go outside of that, then we're not serious. If we're going to say Prince Johnson is guilty before the even whatever crime court come out, then we're not serious. Then we're not serious. They must be presumed innocent until proven guilty. That's it. Let me move on. I will be opening the line here very quickly, and then we won't be. I'm sitting in for the most conservative here tonight on this wonderful, wonderful Friday afternoon. We're here. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, Vice President being absent. Yeah, you think the president will say no? The president can say no. But here's the thing here. You saw what Madam Celine did, right? During President Bakai first time seeking the presidency, Madam Celine didn't raise her hand. So President Bakai can do the same thing here. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying President Bakai is not a President Bakai is most likely they have the. I said that from the beginning. That speculation, by the way, because I wasn't there. But most likely President Bakai and Vice President Kun has a conversation. And Vice President Kun, if he's not sick, to say I will not be there. And as most likely Vice President Kun told President Bakai the reason. But do you think that's going to deter the president to carry out this function? No. So who is he think going to hurt? That is what I'm going. But let's move on. Thank you guys for making all of the comments. Those of you that don't agree with me, I respect your view. You're entitled to it fully. You don't have to agree with me. In fact, I expect you to disagree with me. And those of you who are in favor or in line with my thinking, probably not quite as crazy as I am, but you are in line with it, we say thank you as well. Let me move on. Look, subject matter here. As stated earlier, the ambassador to Liberia, ambassador of the United States to Liberia, made it clear last year that all, if not all, by the way, Liberia problem usually start from the diaspora. Let's wear that hat proudly. We make trouble, but we make good trouble. Liberian diaspora make trouble, but we make good trouble. And I say it again. Let me say, I'm very serious. Only thing I don't got money now. If I got money, that would be easy. Liberian in the diaspora need to come together. Don't depend on EULA. EULA is gone. That's something else. We need to come together. Okay, Terry is here. It's late, but it's okay. We say, come on. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. I'm moving on to another. I know you've been hearing my tabata. So I was going to move on to but let me bring you back. You want to contribute to the war crime and Jeremiah Cohen issue? Or you want to move on?
Yeah, I wanted to contribute to the Jeremiah thing.
Okay, go ahead.
And I think I listened to you talking something very salient that we did not really take into consideration. The absence of Jeremiah Cohen yesterday could be alarming. Could mean so many things. So I thought that was the missing link that you just connected that really, really need to be looked at. That, wow, what was going through his mind. And I also saw pictures of him. I don't know if it was yesterday picture with he and Dara Zillon and all of that. But really, yeah, one would say, you know, not everything the president does, the vice president's supposed to be there. But Yomli Kanga Lawrence were there. The Speaker of the House was there. So why the vice president was not there? You know, that is a great concern. And there is something you also mentioned, all right, that I want to look at, wherein you talk about what if President Boka do not, and that was what Mr. Bacon, Jerry Bacon was saying yesterday, that anything can happen. What if President Boka do not lift his hand up? What if that happened? Because Unity Party, too, looking at the political scene, Unity Party will want to carry a standard bearer for 2029. So will President Boka dump Jeremiah Kuhn? You know, and if he does, what will be the implications for all those kind of things? So those are some of the things I think we got to be carefully looking for. But I'm hopeful that President Boka will not want to do that. But again, this is politics. The deception in Liberia is very, very high. You know, and chances are that President Boka could recommend somebody else. Who knows? He could recommend Fonati Kofa if Fonati Kofa does what is right. And he have the right cards, playing the right cards. President Boka could say, you know what, I'm going to support Fonati Kofa for 2029. And that could happen last minute of time. We never know.
Here's the thing you have to take into consideration, Terry. As Madam Sali did during President Boka's first term seeking the presidency, she didn't raise her hand. But that's not all. That's not all. After the election, Prince Johnson started making a lot of stuff. Was it not Prince Johnson who told us that he can't even access President Boka's phone number anymore? Did you hear President Boka reply? No. Did you see recently? When was the last time you saw Prince Johnson praising President Boka? Okay. The interesting thing here is this: Prince Johnson and President Boka, I think they have already have a split. Speculation, by the way. Most likely have a split already. So, what I tell Vice President Kum absent yesterday did some real disservice to the folks of Nima County, as far as I'm concerned, is that the fact that he was not there does not mean that Liberian will not be able to answer questions if it comes down to it. But I thought if he were to be there yesterday, he would have given them the opportunity to say, our man is in the room. He's part of the discussion. Right. We will be brave. But the fact that he was not there, what if that meeting yesterday, remember that President Boka announced of setting up an office for the war crime court. President Boka going to name people who's going to run the office. The fact that the vice president was not there yesterday, why President Boka said this man did not support me, he was not there on the podium with me, I will pick my own people, and Vice President Kuhn will not have any kind of direct input in that selection process. That would be the first place. That would be the first place that the betrayal of Liberian yesterday will be felt. It is wrong for him not to show yesterday. That was unacceptable. That was unacceptable. The fact that it was not the same Jeremiah Kuhn during the campaign told us that they were selling Liberian kids in Grand Bassa County for $5 or so. Was it not the same Jeremiah, Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn, who told us Liberians were throwing in the wells?
Right.
He should have stood at that podium yesterday to back those statements. And his absence yesterday means a lot. And here's what I also believe before I come back to you, Terry. The fact that he was not there yesterday does not bode well for Liberians, as I stated already, that there's nobody in the room with them. But what makes Liberians think that Liberians do not have people or the likes of Prince Johnson, that they don't have explanation for their involvement into the war? Every one of those people have explanation. I was here in 1982 in Kenton. I spent 3 weeks in the same house with DK Wansler. If you know who DK Wansler is from Nima County, you will know the war history. So we know these things. Nibadians have reason to fight. I'm not saying that they have justification to kill.
Right.
Grangidians have reason to fight.
Right.
I'm not saying they have justification to kill. But this it was an opportunity. Jeremiah Cohn should have stood yesterday and said, let me make a point. This, you don't have to say Nima, but you can say this, Liberians. It's the opportunity for us to hear for those who we think are more responsible for the war, the perpetrator. This is the opportunity for us to hear from them. No speculation, no second-hand stuff. We will hear directly from these people. That's how you represent the people, not to come and run away and think, say you're vice president for basement. Please, go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, so I think that Jeremiah Cohn had to play that political side of him because he was the MDR. He had to show some solidarity to PYJ. But whether it is going to help him politically from the side of the ruling establishment, I doubt it, because President Bokar will remember that Jeremiah Cohn did not stand by him.
Yeah.
All right. Just what you're saying, that is very political. That is a clever analysis you're giving tonight. You understand?
But I'm the political guru. I'm the political guru. You know, Mr. So can't make it with me. Mr. So and George, Emma George, and Dr. Martin, they can't make it with me. I'm the true political guru. You know, so you know me.
Yeah. That was the missing link, because he will remember that day, because that day stands as a day of legacy, as a day of history that's supposed to either change the trajectory of the state or take the state back to where it was. So a hero or the leader that is initiating this with fear, in order that need Jeremiah Cohn, he need a VP to stand with him.
To stand in there.
As he taking this decision to say,
yes,
Daddy, I'm with you.
Yes.
I'm with you. No matter what happened, I'm with you.
Yes.
This is the movement.
Look at the people that were there yesterday.
And he was not in the picture.
CDC were there.
He was not in the picture.
He was not there.
He was not in the picture.
But here's the most dangerous part of this whole absent, and people are arguing that he has the right. Because of Prince Johnson, if my speculation is correct, that Jeremiah Cohn was absent yesterday, those who saw that, the president, his handler, and the supporters saw that. President Bokar, let me say this again, and this is what many people who are arguing about me talk with my tabata tonight, those who are arguing against me, here's what they're missing. President Bokar declared yesterday that he's setting up the office of the War Crime Court, War and Economic Crime Court. There will be people that they will need to mind that office. Jeremiah Cohn, those who argue will argue the fact that you did not stand by the president. You have no voice in whoever we put in there. And those people that are going to be selected, I hope I'm wrong, those people that are going to be selected will be those that will formulate the policy, how the War Crime Court is supposed to be carried on in terms of legal policy. There will be those that will be in that room that will be part of that War Crime Court office. And Jeremiah Cohn absent yesterday. There's some serious disservice to our brothers and sisters from Nima County. If he's denied the opportunity to be an influential leader in appointing those who are going to be carrying out the mandate of the president. This is, listen to that. This is not a law from the legislature. It's an executive order, administrative. The president has the right under the executive order to appoint those who are going to carry out And if Jeremiah Kum absent yesterday, push him aside and does not have the influence in selecting those people, that would be some disservice to the people of Nima County. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Terry.
I think that is a fine point, but I doubt that Jeremiah Kuhn will stay and step aside completely because this is a country you're running, and one of the things Jeremiah Kuhn, need to understand is that if you are to become the next president of Liberia, wherein we are all looking at Prince Johnson gradually fading away and giving you the mantle to become the godfather of Nima County, we're seeing you gradually taking over that slot. If you are to rule Liberia, you need to have friends with the West. You need to be friendly with the West. That is one of the disconnect that I see with Jeremiah Kuhn that I cannot understand. And President, we have had that same struggle with his VP too, Joel Howard Taylor. You see, President Booker did not have that struggle with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Ellen could send him to the GA. He could go and speak and all of that. But President Weah could not send Joel Howard Taylor to the GA. Joel was not familiar with the West. She was not friendly with them. So, in order for the VP to be propped properly for the leadership of the presidency, you have to have that relationship with the West. And I thought that is what he was beginning to work on. And his presence yesterday would have cemented any other grievances or any other glitch between he and the West. He needs to also have opportunity to come to America. I don't see him talk about it. I don't know if he went to the embassy and he have been denied visas before, but he needs to balance. If he will be president for Liberia, he needs to build that bridge between he and the international community. You can't stay in Liberia and develop. It's not possible. You need help. You need connections. And I think the World Economic Crime Code for him will have been a very good platform that he will stand upon to launch that opportunity to connect himself with other people in the West. Because if you are going to be the man that will foster the vision and the aspiration, the remaining vision and aspiration of President Booker, along with your own agenda, you need to be friendly with the West. You need to be friendly with international partners. You need to be able to go out there and lobby for connection that will attract investors to your country. Liberia have all the resources, but Liberia do not have the mechanism, the technicality, the technology, and even the education to be able to explore her resources to turn them into production that will attract the kind of a wealth that we need for our economy to grow. So I don't understand what Jeremiah Kuhn is doing or thinking, because there's something President Weah said, right? President Weah said in his church after the election, he said something. He said, if you are to start working on 2029, you got to start from today. You got to start from now. If Jeremiah Kuhn is prompting to be the next president for Liberia, he needs to start doing some things that will prepare him for that journey. Otherwise, I think he's going to have a serious problem in becoming president because the West control Liberia. If they tell President Booker, say, we don't want that man, we don't like him, President Booker will find a way to dodge him and put somebody else there. And Unity Party will not want to sit down and watch Jeremiah Kuhn from the MDR going with nobody from the Unity Party or so. Unity Party is definitely going to raise up a standard bearer for 2029. And that is where the clash is going to come from. All right? And if the West back them, there is nothing Jeremiah Kuhn can do. They will step on him.
Let me read this thing here very quickly. I read it earlier, but I want you to see this. This is the press from these press report, they keep them for a long time. This is from the Daily Observer. It said Liberia inches closer to war crime court. And let me list the people that were there yesterday. So President just said Nima Bakai signed Executive Order 313 as Senate Pro Tem Nyomli Kanka Lawrence Speaker of the House of Representatives, J. Flante Kofa, and others, top government official and civil society actors looked on. Vice President name is not mentioned.
Wow.
And if you go to read, yes, another interesting thing. And I played the speech from the president here. This thing is not going to be easy. When president get back to Liberia, this thing going to create some serious rift. And Vice President Kun will now win. You saw what happened with President Weah and President and Vice President Taylor. She was ostracized for a long time,
Right.
until McGill was put on sanction. And then they started waving her back in. If you listen to President Baka, he did not give any justification for the absence of his vice president. If you believe the absence of a vice president was legitimate in his mind, he would have been able to find way to put it in there, to tell Liberian why his vice president is not present with him. But because he does not think that whatever reason the vice president gave him was legitimate or that he agreed with it, they didn't put that in there. The absence of the vice president was very critical yesterday. And if the president felt within himself that this vice president is still somebody he can count on, he would have excused his absence in that speech yesterday. The vice president is second in command of the Republic of Liberia. God forbid anything happen to Baka right now, the vice president is next in line.
Definitely.
So if the president believed that the vice president absent yesterday, which people are arguing that he discussed it with the president, and the president is, if the president was on board, sincerely on board, and not just, oh, okay, thank you, yeah, no matter, even though it's not coming from her, vice president, no matter, he would have found way to put that in the speech yesterday to inform them, because not only Liberians that were watching, but there were other international community partners that were in that room.
But that's what I'm saying, Libra, the picture. The VP is not in the picture.
Exactly.
The picture that was taken after the program and all those delegates with all those people, he's not in the picture. And even when the president was introducing, he was looking at the dignitaries and pronouncing the names of all those that was present, including the president. He did not mention the vice president name.
Exactly.
And that was I say you got a found point to that. That is a found argument.
I'm a political guru, you know that.
And that is a serious concern. And for sure, I agree with you on this note that there will be a rift after this process when he returns from the United States.
Of course. Of course.
Because he's definitely going to have debriefing.
And those, look, Vice President Kuhn have put himself, if I were him, before the president get back, I will go back and apologize. And even if I can apologize publicly, go and have a press conference and apologize to the president. And you say why you were not there. Because here's the interesting thing. The vice president, as all rumors have been carrying around, that the vice president have a huge handle and hook on this Unity Party Joseph Baka government. That he appoints people, he tell people where to go, what to do, and what have you. This I've seen yesterday. You will find out how deadly Liberian politics is. Those Unity Party members that felt that this vice president have so much power, they will now use this opportunity to bring it to his size. Of course. And now the fact that this man was not able to stand with the president. Anybody, you go to the president right now and say that if the vice president have no good interest, why would he not believe that? Why would he not believe that? So I think the vice president need to come back quickly before the president even come back to Liberia. Call him and make it clear to him that it was a mistake for me not being there yesterday. I apologize. We're supposed to be together. Start the process now. The president didn't bring his wife. I don't know if he brought his wife or not. Go to your mom and start crying before your mom. So your mom will tell the old man to bring you back to that. Or else, those Unity Party boys that already don't believe in you, don't trust in you, they will cut into size. And you will say the liberal is something, he's on something.
But
Let me go
Liberal,
ahead
you
and
got
open the line.
and to add to that, JMB is not running for the second term. He have nothing to lose. He don't
Exactly.
need you. He don't
Exactly.
need you, Jeremiah Kun. He don't need Nima Kante to support him for second term. So now he can do anything he want to do right now. You know, that's why I say he have the option to either fail or succeed, because he have no reason to come back in 2029 if he don't want to. He have no reason to come back. So you know, it's a one shot, and I think he was setting the stage for Jeremiah Kun to take over, at least so it can be recorded in history that at least the Nima people too became president in Liberia. But if Jeremiah Kun do not tie his shoestring very well, he may not walk on that red carpet 2029.
No.
If he don't tie his shoestring very well, he will deny the Nibadians of the opportunity that God want to give them to hold state power as well. He will deny them that opportunity.
One of the interesting things, and you did mention that here very briefly, but I think it's something that we need to watch for. Flanty Kofa's sedition. If President George Weah is coming back as a standard bearer to seek second term, so to speak, Flanty Kofa is a sedition. But if President Baka goes back to Flanty Kofa and say we want to support you, Flanty Kofa not going to go to not going to go to how do you call it, Unity Party. Flanty Kofa he's going to be stuck.
Protect the interest of the president.
Yes, what most likely going to happen. Flanty Kofa then would then come to, because he used to be Liberty Party member. In fact, he was a chairman at one time.
Wow.
So most likely he will come to pretend normally Liberty Party and be member, and both of them can go against Jeremiah Kun and President Weah.
Well, I doubt that one. I doubt that can happen.
Is that
I doubt that can. Yeah,
okay.
I know. What I think can happen is that President Boyka will not have no qualm. President.
Hold on a minute. Brigabo, can you hear me? Okay, Brigabo, I got to fix this one tonight. Let me fix it, and you call me back, please. Okay. Oh, shoot. Brigabo, call me back. Brigabo, call me back. I didn't put it stuff up. Brigabo, call me back. But go ahead, Terry.
So, President, you see, Madam Sully supported President Weah from the CDC instead of her own vice president. So President Boyka have nothing to lose 2029. All he will need to do is to find a replacement that will protect his interests for his government not to be maybe audited or blah, blah, blah as usual. So he would need somebody to protect his interests. So if the CDC, if Fonati Kofa happen to be the standard bearer of the CDC, President Boyka can negotiate with him.
Right.
The politics in Liberia is deceptive. But I doubt that Youngly will make it yet. Go ahead.
Brigabo, are you there? Okay. Brigabo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I don't know why my stuff is.
Yeah, he on now.
Go ahead. What's on your mind? Please don't talk CDC temperature tonight. We're really having some serious.
Nobody there they're talking on one thing or Then we your mutual about this side, you not join the liberal again, you not even know to be so even you the child was suffering. You bring a child in your house to live there, to eat job, or you are not coming, or not easy. I like my 8 weeks. The child had no boss in the home. Because of who want to be president. So Baron don't hold his nose and tell you to do anything. He said you park car in the garage for 12 years. So because you park car in the garage, see my pass my own car too.
So what are you saying?
Because the reason I'm saying it is it's not very cool closer to him. It's not very cool in the decision making. If you want to see it, that tells you something that he did. Is that rapport between two of them? Who was obedient to happen the son of that document? Now when that's one, a lot of document that was stuff that he did that could not even stand there. For the day after the inauguration, some of all those things that he been doing, only a advisor and those other people I want to serve and they spend by him. He was back out for 12 years. So he was back out for 12 years, he was back home too. And secondly, look, you guys keep getting really hope he could become president. I just target back home right here on the wall. But in the aspect of anything, I will tell you the truth. The government cannot make Kuhn to be president. The government, no matter twist it, no matter turn it around, they will not make Kuhn to be president. In the sense that what they're going to do in a period of time will justify the least that they will not be Kuhn to be president. Because the Western government ever in the history of abroad will be the government.
Okay.
You have a war crown code that you're saying, look, I wish you could discuss the war crown code that the government is standing.
Thank you.
You just said, no, don't say thank you, please. You take something from your house and went to the upper house and went back and sent to the president. They take it back and carry it to your house. Then by law to the
But that's the rule. That's the rule.
Okay. They still get on my war crown code since 1920. That's how some of us are even start going.
Oh, you are born in 1940?
Can I say since 1940, you're better to my war crown code. And they will be the 2024. You also have reason of bringing war crown code. They have to go to other place and come from there, come there, and all of a sudden I pass you. I will start it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
The people that are coming here never yet. Why you guys keep bringing politics in your
Thank you, Brigable.
You got a list that was made. Not because you criticize the list. They brought 9%. Why you almost take 20% already in never yet? They only got 9% on the list. Why you guys keep bringing politics out of the bro?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You see how you are rumbling all over the place, Terry? I don't even know if we want to respond to Brigable tonight. But anyhow,
but Brigable need to understand that his VP, what Joia did with what her name, Joa. The whole leadership of Joia, they both of them were not doing anything together.
Samson told Labrador Public Relations, where you're calling from, what's on your mind? Oh my goodness. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Labor, but you got out.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that, Doc. Go ahead.
Yeah. This Brigable guy, I don't know what sort of you got to call the show for. It's not it. You can't tell me opposition, you need to be better and closer out of every reality. So even if the president have so many people that are part of the delegation, and they went back and listened to and they listen to public opinion, the people say the delegation is too huge, and they go back to court it out of what's wrong with it? That means he's a president that listening to the will of the people. Where as president we are, all the time when he used to travel, he used to travel with huge number of people. And when they travel, they're not just traveling for a couple of days, they're traveling for a whole week, they travel for months.
Right.
So yes, the president are traveling, and all of a sudden they reduce the days of that. What is wrong with you? What the argument they have? Even the issue of the war crime code, labor, this is everything that Liberia they're yelling for. And the point that they're playing here. So for President Wagama, even the government like Liberian, to watch under the political will to sign that document with the establishment of war crime code, that's a milestone.
Right.
It should be celebrated by every Liberian.
Right.
Yeah, we should celebrate it. Because we were in Liberia. Some people out of us are Liberia during that civil war, and they feel the impact of that war. And that because of no accountability and justice in Liberia today. We see one other thing there, just lying through Liberia that nothing there we're going to be afraid of. No, that is the place of fear in people. So we should celebrate the milestone achievement as every Liberian.
Right.
You know, to see the war crime go out of Liberia. How the project going to work on is another argument. We can argue that up. But thereby signing it into law, I think the milestone and President Walker set the ball rolling for Liberia to kind of achieve true justice in that country.
Thank you. Thank you. That's the voice of Dr. George Toto, one of the panelists here on LPR. Dr. Toto, thank you very much for your call.
Thank you.
Okay. Again, folks, Samson told Labropa Terry, we're going to wrap this up here. I'm sitting in tonight for Mr. So. So apparently, Mr. So must have called all his buddies, and I'm there to know. And I'm there to know, you know, and I'm there to advise all his people, so they refuse to come on tonight. But what will be your closing on this? I know you came in late, but late, how do you say late or never late or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. What's on your what will be your closing?
Well, my closing have to do with the DEA. You know, I was listening to the DEA people and the constraint that they're having with the drugs proliferation in the country.
Let me take Teddy line, please.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Samson told Labrador Public Radio, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Good evening, Mr. Toon and Terry. How you guys doing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My name is Troka.
Okay, Troka. Thank you for calling.
Calling you from Fargo.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. On the issue of the war crime code, it's a good thing. Some of us, our father was killed in the war, and he did justice. So every Liberian will work on the idea of the war crime economic crime code in Liberia. My own take here is whether those companies that benefited during the war, the Firestone, the OTC, the land, they were operating with Taylor during the war. They also will be prosecuted too, because as far as we're concerned, it is a recommendation from the TRC report. It's what they're running with. And in that report, you can't find Firestone in that report. So how are they going to get Firestone or OTC then involved into the process? So that's what I'm trying to figure out. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, what we can say is they're just establishing the process now. Yeah, TRC recommendation going to be followed, but I want to suspect that they also going to add their own procedures on that, not just the TRC, because they're going to have to find a smooth operation process for this war crime code. But your point is well placed and well in taking. And but thank you for your contribution, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Terry, go ahead. Give us the closing.
Yeah. So you know, I wanted to talk about the drug, but since people keep talking about there's a war crime code, first of all, Liberians need to understand. You know,
what do you want to talk about the drugs?
Yeah,
okay,
actually,
you can go and walk this in.
Yeah,
so talk about
people,
both of them.
People were talking the drugs. I listened to Fadika. Shortly, he said that if they knock down, apparently the guy hints that there are some lawmakers that are behind this drug trafficking in Liberia. So he said it clearly that anyone who, if they catch anybody that involved with drugs and all of that, and it happens to involve a lawmaker or anybody from the higher ups, could be the president or whatsoever, he said he's going to resign. All right. And that make me to believe that there are so many things that are going on in Liberia. These guys already know the root of the source of how the drugs is coming into Liberia. from the observation of what they were discussing today, because they had a report. They made a report, he and his boss, A.B. Kroman, and they said a lot of things. All right. And I don't know if Liberians were listening, but I think Liberians need to take into consideration the proliferation of drugs. They talk about, I know about 1 million people have been affected by drugs in Liberia. And if we 5 million people, it's obvious that 6 years from now, if the drugs is not paid attention to in Liberia on a serious scale, there's a possibility that it will overwhelm the country. You will have more criminals in the country than you will have people who cannot steal. So I think, and you know, bad, a little bad can damage much good. So we have to be able to put our foot down to cut the sources. They were even displaying different new drugs that are being exposed to our people, you know, and the drugs is now moving into the schools. That there are some students that are not even going to school anymore. So I thought that really need to be discussed. Equal, and also to close on the war and economic crime code, I think Liberians need to realize that. I listen to a lot of Liberians, they say, oh, you know, the war thing, the war and economic crime code, the time is not right now, and all of that. I think CDC try to play politics with it because they know that if the war and economic crime code is established, it will be a huge legacy for President Boka. So they're trying to discourage people about it. But the thing they don't understand is that there are millions of signatures of Liberians that previously affixed the signature to documents saying that they want a war economic crime code. As a matter of fact, the international community have done their own survey. And it is based upon the survey that they are bringing this particular war and economic crime code. And I think Liberians need to protect the peace, because only us can make this war and economic crime code become a reality. So we need to first have a positive mindset to stop saying that the war and economic crime code can't count, you know, there is no security and blah, 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 and all of that. We are the ones that can keep the peace. If rebel will come, that the Liberians will open the door for rebels. And right now, there are millions of Liberians that don't even want to hear the fire of a gun sound. You understand? And before even gun can come into Liberia, it have to pass through somebody else. It have to pass through international waters. All right? The international community got to be aware of what you're trying to do. And people who are behind those kind of things have to be people that really got real cash and are of international connections. So how are you going to bring this war? How are you going to bring this gun? How are you going to support it? How are you going to maintain the arm and ammunition in the country without international community involvement? So if the West is telling you that this is what, you know, if the West is telling you that now is the time, it means that they understand exactly what they are looking at, both internationally and nationally. So I think it is now binding upon Liberians to embrace the process and stand up tall and say, look, we will protect it, we will protect our peace, and we'll make sure that this war and economic crime code is brought to us and be dealt with to the letter. Because until that can be dealt with fully, we are not fully safe as a nation. If you got a bad president in Liberia who start to have connection with other parts of criminals in the world, like Taliban and all those kind of people, obviously you are setting yourself up because they can use your country as a means to destabilize the entire West Africa. So you have to be able to understand that all Liberians got to put themselves together and embrace the war and economic crime code, because I believe that this is the time for it. To everything there is a time. People saying, oh, Ellington was supposed to be the time. Okay, it didn't happen Ellington. President they demonstrated on the grounds that war and economic crime code should come. God gave him 6 years. He never brought it. Now, Honorable Boka is bringing it, then he said, oh, he's doing it for political reason. No. This is the time. There's a time for everything. because he as an individual cannot establish the War and Economic Crime Court. It has to be backed by international support. That is what makes it not to be political. All right? So we need to understand that, and I think in order for us to get out of this bubble, we need to embrace the process. Thank you, Liberian.
Thank you, Terry. We appreciate it. We really, really appreciate you again tonight. It's Friday. Please have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Yeah. And let's meet again on Thursday. I mean, okay. on Monday, of course. So, right. But thank you for your involvement tonight.
Thank you. I had to come to help you up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You always do that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Again, folks, Samson to Labra Rido. We're here again this evening. Say thank you to all. Thanks to those of you that tune in to help us listen to us. We appreciate it. The conversation we've been having here tonight, it's not that we have the command of everything else. No, this is about Liberia. And I want to thank all of you again. Those of you that participated tonight. I'm sitting in for Mr. Soul, as I told you, but I'm a liberal. The liberal sitting for the conservative. The liberal voice is now taking complete control of the whole system. So we want to thank all of you again tonight. Thank you very much, and we'll say good night to all of you. Thank you. Please, let us continue to pray for one another. Thank you. Stay safe out there. Good night, folks.